Welcome back, everybody, to Monster Hunter Wilds. Cutscene.
Good. We'll continue to monitor him, but his condition has stabilized.
He's also shut the fuck up for the first time in the whole game. He's using 2-syllable words instead of 5-syllable
A
words.
success, despite the circumstances. You did well with such limited resources, Eric.
I just applied my lipstick and made him feel really good.
I couldn't have done it without that tissue sample. Not to mention your thesis, sir. I just hope the Dragon Torch responds to it as well as our fuzzy friend.
The Avis unit should be delivering it now. We'll just have to put our faith in Werner and wait.
I don't know what it is about... So I have the subtitles on, so I'm reading what they're saying. But sometimes I hear completely different words coming out of their mouth. And I'll give you an example in a second.
Amazing. Even I can see the change. Is it taking effect already?
Yes, but as much as I'd like to take the credit, the Wyvern
I'm
milk
sure
is what's
you would
working
love
most
to
of the
take
magic.
all the credit.
If not for it amplifying the effects of the treatment, you'd never see it recover this fast.
That said, another Gormagala could turn up at some point. Are you worried?
I wonder
it
if
may
that
happen
I
again?
wonder if that guy, like, if he just stands in front of a mirror and
It's
just
a fair
masturbates
point,
to himself.
But I'm not too concerned.
Because Warner feels like
Especially
that kind of
if this thing has
egomaniac
organic
that, like, would just completely
I'd
undress
like to pick Eric's brain
head to
about
toe
this,
and just
but
look
there's
at
a
his
chance
his
it's
his
developed
body and
antibodies
just
now.
be like, I am the sexiest
And if
man
the Wyvern
ever.
milk magnifies that
If
resistance
only I
too,
could duplicate myself
it'd
so
take
I
a
could
hell
have
of a lot to
sex with
break through
myself.
it.
I'm not ready to be quite that optimistic. This thing is still a big unknown.
I like
And a
Olivia.
threat.
I could
Regardless,
understand how people would not
Werner,
like her sort
continue
of
your research
more
here. I'll be
manly
monitoring the area closely as well.
personality.
Understood.
But
We'll head
like
outside
in
then.
terms of like, what do you
The
expect a
cycles
hunter to
should
be?
return to normal in each region, but I'd like to keep monitoring them.
You know, you expect your monster hunters to be, you know, properly manicured and hey Fang, another cool idea. Sure, what you got? Bigger wops are nice for healing and all, but it's useless if you get knocked out. Yeah,
Can't do much if
that's what I got me thinking. There's a bug that heals
a giant.
a giant bigger wasp. Yeah, those.
All right, I'll go catch you one.
That shouldn't be too hard. 'Cause I've already caught a number of, well, I've caught a couple of these already. They're not super plentiful, but they're plentiful enough that they're easy to find, unlike in Monster Hunter World where there's like, well, the quest to catch one I think is, well, I don't know if it's given to you specifically or if it's an optional side quest. It's been a while since I played that game. But I remember, like, in terms of trying to get it, either to complete my encyclopedia. Oh, I lost the connection. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Either to complete my encyclopedia of small, like, endemic life, or because I was given the quest. I don't remember which it was. I ended up having to look up where. Sure, they probably have something like this now, but I had to look up where it was because I didn't actually. If I came across it, I wasn't paying attention. I just probably assumed it was another Vigawasp. And then I found it and I was like, wow, I have been down here a dozen times. Not, you know, just sort of exploring, collecting materials, that sort of thing. And I was like, I did not ever think about that you were bigger than the rest of them and I should catch you. Shouldn't be too, like I said, shouldn't be too hard to get this thing. It's not far away. Because I know I definitely saw him standing out, one of those standing outside of the what is it, Daewoo, Jinwai, area, you know, his little nest area. But apparently they're a little bit more plentiful than that even. Alright, well that was a very quick side quest we just did there. I was kind of expecting when he said, hey Hunter, I've got a request for you. I was like pretty sure I was gonna fight something, like another monster to test out his little thing on. But in this case, we just had to catch a. Earlier on, I know I didn't record it, but earlier on I caught a regular size wasp, Wasp for him to upgrade one of his abilities. I don't probably his ability to carry or put down Vigor Wasp in the wild. I think there's like a bush or something that attracts them. Perfect again. Thanks for catching it. Giant Vigor Wasps are sure powerful. Lend you a paw. Thanks. I'll be counting on it. Gutsy move. So I need to go find Eric because I completed his quest to fight a regular Doshagama in the forest, which was a little harder than I thought it was.
Heard about the strange rumors floating around Kanafa lately? They may be nothing more than just that, of course.
Still, they could be worth looking into. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
It seems prudent. If nothing else, it may put some worries to rest.
Ah, perfect.
Go right ahead.
I am told many mysteries still remain about the ecology of the Guardians. For instance, do you think tempered Guardians could ever exist? Or a tempered Shewu?
Good question. I'm sure in this game they've at least thought about it, if not included them already.
I wouldn't be surprised. Especially with their dynamic of eat or be eaten. Why? Have you seen something lately?
No, it was really just a momentary glimpse. Nothing certain. But it felt unlike other Shewu.
I've learned it's often better to listen to my gut. If it turns out you're wrong, no harm done.
Yeah, if you listen to your gut and it turns out you're wrong,
usually
you're pretty good. Unless, of course, it involves eating food that you think you can stomach. But in reality, no, you cannot stomach it because your idea of hot is a different... everyone has a different level of spicy, is what I'm trying to say. And when I go to a place that is a Mexican or Thai restaurant, I try to gauge based on the not necessarily the staff, but based on, you know, what their rating system is to figure out how hot I want something to be. And I think I've said this before, but first time I go any place, it depends on what their scale is. If their scale is 1 to 5, I'll start with 2. Okay? Or I will go, or if they say how spicy you want it, I'll say I want it slightly spicy. Okay? I want it more than nothing, but not blow my asshole out. I don't say blow my asshole out, obviously. But if it's a 1 to 5 scale, I'm going a 2 on it, my first try. Because even if a 2 is hotter than I'm willing to go, it shouldn't be so hot that I can't eat it. And if it's out of 10, I'll probably go with somewhere around a 4 or a 5. Because that gives you a little bit more range in terms of heat.
Doshagama are fairly individualistic to begin with. They don't exhibit the collectivism of a true pack. In the first place, they're each strong enough to survive alone.
Interesting.
Not many predators to fear either.
I see.
Which is why those in the forest live alone.
Cool.
And the desert packs lack any real order or cohesion.
That's not important.
In other words, they group purely to hunt. The tie that binds them is profit.
Profit.
They want a free meal.
Interesting.
Even an average specimen can secure prey it could never hunt alone.
Okay, now you're
if
just
it
getting
aligns with a strong
stupid on me.
alpha.
I see.
At first, I'd considered cohesion driven by fear of the dominant alpha. But nope, just didn't click. If anything, the pack growing stronger would invite power struggles and decrease cohesion. Of course! I'll need to study pack alpha interactions up close. Or no, compare forest and desert specimens.
Eric, I need to...
Sorry, of course. This stuff just grabs a hold of me.
I'm a little worried there that he was going to
Ecosystem
ask
here
for a
truly
captured
is a
version of
marvel.
each.
Don't you think?
Capture an alpha in the
Yeah.
woods, capture an alpha in the
Glad I could be
stands.
of help.
Ugh. Alright, we destroyed the forest of Shagama mission, finally. Eric was hiding from me for a while because I was between missions. Right. Plum Peach wants to talk. That's why we're gonna go to see Plum Peach.
My glasses.
My glasses! So yes, I'm in the middle of that quest too, where Alma lost her glasses and it got washed downstream. And then in order to complete the quest, we have to come back here during the season of plenty at night because they have a festival where they trade shit.
From that
And
description,
apparently
you
one of the
mean a
Woodwoods
Lollapalooza.
has her glasses. But I cannot get it from them until that plenty, thing of plenty during season of
the
plenty at night.
Lollabarina is giving you trouble because it's damaging.
We're gonna go fight a
Congalala goats?
Lullabarina and a Congalala, I guess.
Pink fur is the biggest of splenditude.
Splenditudes.
Many scarrings are not.
Scars or not. Now, I would imagine tempered monsters with lots of scars would not be as
Ferocitaceous
as-
is much different.
interesting to you as regular Congalalas that aren't
Both of them are
not
aberrant
seen a lot of
cases.
battle.
Though it's hard to know anything
Their
for
fur is
aside for the
probably a
moment.
lot
That's a concerning
softer
bit of news.
and
They
less
pose a
damage
danger.
to it
We'll handle
and
it.
probably more of it.
Well
Probably not as
said.
rough is what I'm trying to
I will
say.
give to your hands. Winds will be met with rewardings.
I just realized her thing that she's wearing on her head is a Congalala hair wig.
It's for that.
I'm guessing all of these characters are wearing some sort of monster part as a headdress on their head here, because well, some do, some don't. I don't know. Our Woodwood friend in the Winter Wasteland, I don't think he's wearing anything other than maybe cobbled together pieces of leather for a hat.
That's soon.
He's wearing something on his head. That's something. Looks kind of like made of wood. I don't know. I've seen some of them wear like it looks like seaweed or leaves for like a headdress hair dress thing. Yes, we're going to accept the optional quest to kill the Jajagama and the.
Yes.
Wait, no. That's okay. I'm gonna select this right here where it says fur damages are dislike worthy. That one, struggle to survive, that's the mission that we talked to the guy in the village about, the keeper's village. There we go. I'm just making sure because as I kill smaller species, sometimes lower level like that, the small white feathers, that's you have to kill probably 8 to 10 of the wild Decret Guardians. So like I said, as I kill smaller species, sometimes missions pop up to basically give you like, hey, if you do this mission, not only will your target be the thing you want to target, the congas or the Visawasp or whatever, but we'll also give you some bonus material if you're trying to build that armor. So, always fun. Now we're gonna fight a tempered, Lullabrina,
Surprises today.
tempered Congalala. They're both bad against fire. So we're gonna switch out to fire weapon. Primarily this fire weapon right here. But I may also grab fire on my gun lance as well. I seem to do better on certain monsters with gun lance and better with, you know, the mobility, the speed, the ability to get in there, do a little bit of damage, get out, that the sword and shield offers me. Depends on the monster. Like, for instance, you know, obviously I do better against monsters like Ray Dow and trying to think of another one. I want to say Arkfeld as well, because Arkfeld's just constantly attacking. It's so much harder to get the damage in. But a lot of the other monsters, Kongolala, Lullabarina, I can do most of those monsters with either. I don't really see any downside to using gun lance on this guy, or like I said, a lot of the other monsters. Some of the harder ones, like I said, are the ones that are like an Agit, or not an Agitath, an Archajon. I always forget how to pronounce it because the AJ sounded kind of weird to me. Ajaricon, there it is. So I'd rather fight a Jarkon because he's so aggressive and so quick and moving. I'd rather fight him with his sword and shield because of the mobility, ability to get out of there, dodge, etc. But I think it just requires me to do a little bit more practice with the gun lance to figure out where are the openings for these type of monsters and how do I use that to my advantage, because I'm not very mobile obviously with the gun lance when it's out. So you'll see me do I'll use a lot of the little hop forwards like that, try to get closer to the monster or get away from the monster, because the only other way I can get in or out is to sheath my weapon, which is fine. But if you're not, there's got to be a trade-off to it. So a great example of that is a great sword. If you play great sword, one of the big things that you should be looking for in terms of gems, armor upgrades, what have you, is the ability to sheath your weapon faster and to increase your draw damage, because the main way to get around with the am I gonna die? I think I'm gonna die. You gotta put that away, Chris. Okay, we're good. Got double healed now. Probably because I ate food. But like with the great sword, it's much more. It's pretty slow. I don't know if it's as slow as say gun or lances are, or if it's quicker than lance is, or I'm slower than lance is what I should say. But that's the thing, is you swing with the great sword. If you hit, great. If you don't, you just resheath, and then you reposition yourself and you go for another hit. That's a lot of blue. Little combos drive me nuts. I don't know if the other weapons have such a problem targeting wounds. The only weapons I've really messed with in this game so far have been The gun lance, obviously, because like I said, I'm focused on trying to learn the gun lance to the best of my ability, even though I keep lacking off and going back to sword and shield. Sword and shield, obviously, I love sword and shield. It's like it's my go-to weapon. And then I sometimes, depending when I'm getting bored of playing either sword and shield or gun lance, and I want to do something different. If I'm trying to farm a monster, I'll sometimes pull out a basic hammer. I have, the basic, what they call hope set, which is your, the starter set. And I've just been upgrading that one hammer from, level 1 to whatever it's currently at. Let's say level 4, level 5. I think there's only 5 levels, so we'll just say level 4. But I don't know. Not that I'm, I'm the ideal hammer player by any stretch, but hammer plays really well in my, get in there, do some big damage, knock the monster over, hammer the shit out of its brain, and then, get out of there, It doesn't have a shield, it doesn't have the, the ability to, even technically, Greatsword has the ability to hold itself up and act as sort of like a last second shield, like last ditch efforts shield, like you just sort of throw it up there with the flat edge point out to try to mop up some of the damage that the monster's throwing at you, but it's certainly not intended to be, at least as far as I know, it's not intended to be like an actual good quality shield. It's sort of something you do if it's too late, you're not going to get your weapon away, you're not going to be able to evade this attack, or tackle your way through it or something. But you need to not, you need at least the option or opportunity not to cart. This is, like I said, last ditch effort. That's, yeah, I mean, that's sort of what I'm trying to get at. I know not everything's got, about half the weapons I'd say have some variation of a shield to them, with the obvious ones of the 2 lances, charge blade, sword and shield, and then, like I said, great sword kind of has a shield as well, and then the other half does not. Your three range weapons don't have them. Hammer doesn't have it, and I'm pretty sure that Dual Blaze definitely doesn't have it. But there's another one in there. There's Switch Axe, which I don't think has it either, but there's that other one that has the bug on it. Insect Glaive, there it is. That's another one that kind of doesn't have the doesn't have a shield, which is fine because the game gives you an option of either guarding, or in the case of more mobile weapons, you have the ability to dodge roll out of the way. So, not really given that opportunity with some of the larger weapons like gun lance. You just get to do the little hop out of the way, which I'm not sure if it has any invincibility frames, or if it has some, but they're limited, or what. But you definitely don't get the mobility that you would with many of the other non-shield weapons. Fine. Bye-bye. That's a dead... Oh, I thought you were dead for a second. do this. Missed the tail. Well, I slayed him with not the weakest attack, but certainly in that ballpark. Okay, well, we need to go do the Lullabrina next.